Welcome back to Traverse Field for Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the Jimmies and Dickinson State. Jimmies took the opener by a score of 6-1, and they now have a one-game lead over the Blue Hawks in the conference standings. Lineups are in for Game 2, and the Blue Hawks, as the visiting team, will start off like this. Haley Davis leads off in right field. Cassidy Venner bats second and plays left. Batting third at second base is Selena Wilharm. Batting fourth is the designated player, Brooke Lajewski. Batting fifth at first base is Bailey Hansen. Batting sixth at third is Kylie Hubby. Kara Conway bats seventh and plays shortstop. Jay Maddox is behind the plate, hitting eighth. And playing center field, hitting ninth, is Allie Farrington. And in the circle for the Blue Hawks will be Ava Yonner. And we'll have the Jimmie's defensive lineup for you here momentarily as the first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. And the second pitch taken for a strike, 1-1. For the Jimmies in the outfield, left to right, it will be Lauren Weigel, Trent Gregg, and Sydney Austin. Around the infield from third to first is Natalie Draper, Maddie Spaeth, Kate Geisler, and Sydney Grenler. Kayla Quintanilla is behind the plate, and in the circle for Game 2 is Abby Blair. And the count now 2-1 to Haley Davis. And the 2-1 taken for a strike, 2-2. Blair making her 19th start of the year, 22nd appearance. She's 9-7 with a 3.79 earned run average. Here's the 2-2, and that one just misses to run the count full, 3-2. She's got 4 complete games, pitched 85 innings, allowed 112 hits, 59 runs, 46 of them earned. She's walked 18 and struck out 38, opposing hitters hitting 304 against her. And Davis draws a walk here to start off Game 2. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Cassidy Venner. And the first pitch, Venner shows bunt and fouls it off, 0-1. Blair, in her last 6 starts, has a record of 2-3 with an earned run average of 4.73. And the 0-1 bunted, but taken for a ball. Oh, and they appealed to the base umpire and said that she did go through on the bunt attempt. So the count now to Venner, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 from Blair. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. So that'll be out number 1. And that'll bring up the Blue Hawks second baseman, Cassidy Wilharm. First pitch for Selena Wilharm, my bad. First pitch from Blair misses outside, 1-0. I swear I'm having name problems. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. If you did catch us for Game 1, you'll know that the Blue Hawks had their starter take a comebacker to the mound and had to leave, but she is doing okay. As Wilharm singles to right, Jimmie's get the relay in, but not in time as Davis takes third. She is alert, has a little bit of bruising, a little bit of knot on her forehead, a couple of stitch marks, but nothing more serious than that. So that's always good to see, especially when you see those comebackers up the middle. So here's Lajewski with runners at first and third, one out here in the top of the first. And Wilharm steals second, and Davis comes home on the back end of the double steal. And the Blue Hawks quickly on the board here in game 2, 1-0. So Blue Hawks now with a runner at second, one out in the inning. And just like game 1, they take a quick 1-0 lead. And the 1-0 misses, 2-0. 2-0, taken for a strike. So Blair now down 2-1 to Lajewski. Misses outside. Count now 3-1 to Lajewski. And the 3-1 swung on and fell back to the screen. Full count now to the Blue Hawks designated player. Looking to add to their lead here in the first inning against the Jimmie's Abby Blair. Here's the payoff pitch swung on. Pitch Draper at third, looks back over to first for the out. But Wilharm advances on the throw. So now with 2 outs and a runner at third, Bailey Hansen steps to the plate.
Number 27, Bailey Hansen, up to bat for Dickinson.
Hansen was 0 for 2 in the first game with a sacrifice bunt. First pitch from Blair called strike, 0-1. Blair gets the sign and the pitch. Called strike 2. So quickly Blair ahead of Hansen, 0-2. 1 out, runner at third, or 2 outs, 1 in, runner at third for the Blue Hawks. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, outside for 1 and 2 now to Hansen. Blair's 1-2 misses high and outside again, 2-2. And the 2-2 called strike 3. So So Hansen will go down looking to end the first, but the Blue Hawks do score 1 run on 1 hit. No Jimmie errors, 1 runner left. We go to the bottom of the first. Dickinson State leads the Jimmies 1-0. Back at Trapper Field for the bottom of the first here in game number 2 between the Jimmies and Blue Hawks. Blue Hawks score 1 in their first time at the plate here in game 2. Jimmy's looking to answer as they step to the plate for the first time. This is how they'll line up against Ava Yonner. It'll be Trent Gregg in center, followed by Lauren Weigel in left, Maddie Spaeth at short. Kayla Quintanilla bats cleanup and does the catching. Batting 5th at third base will be Natalie Draper. Hope Ransom bats 6th and is the designated player. Kate Geisler hits 7th and plays second base. Sydney Grenler is at first, hitting 8th, and playing right field, batting 9th is Sydney Austin. And Abby Blair is in the flex spot as the pitcher. And the first pitch to Gregg, inside for a ball, 1-0. Gregg 1 for 3 in game 1, but reached base 3 of her 4 plate appearances. Singled, hit by a pitch, and reached on an error. And the 1-0 taken for a strike to even the count, 1-1. And that pitch swung on, and Wilharm unable to come up with that one at second. So Gregg reaches on the error, and that will bring up Lauren Weigel. Weigel went 2 for 4 in game 1, singled and scored, and also had a double. And the first pitch to Weigel, called strike, 0-1. Ava Yonner getting the start in the circle for the Blue Hawks. If you're a fan of North Dakota high school softball, you'll know Yonner as a standout performer for the Dickinson High School softball team. One of the better players in North Dakota in the last few years. Staying at home to attend Dickinson State. Making just her 6th start of the season, 16th appearance. It's the 1-1 swung on and hit at short. Conway unable to come up with that one. So back-to-back errors now have runners at first and second for the Jimmies. And stepping to the plate will be Maddie Spaeth. Yonner 8-1 this season. She's got 2 complete games in 43 2/3 innings. She's allowed 58 hits, 22 runs, 21 of them earned. She struck out 30 and walked 19, earned run average of 3.37. And Spaeth shows bunt as the Jimmies pull a double steal, but Gregg caught stealing at third for out number 1. Weigel takes second on the stolen base, but the Jimmies squandered a chance to get runners at second and third. As the second pitch to Spaeth misses, 2-0. Not sure if Trin got the best jump at second. The throw from Maddox arrived in plenty of time. As that one's popped up to second, Wilharm squeezes it for out number 2. And that'll bring up the Jimmie's catcher, Kayla Quintanilla. Quintanilla 0 for 1 officially in game 1. She drove in a run with a sacrifice fly and later walked. First pitch from Yonner taken for a strike, 0-1. Quintanilla swings and hits that one up the middle. Conway up with it from behind second base, over to first in time. Nice play by Conway to record out number 3. And that will do it for the Jimmies in the first. No runs, no hits, 2 Dickinson State errors, 1 runner left on base. 1 inning in the books here at Trapper Field. Dickinson State leads the University of Jamestown by a score of 1-0. Top of the second about to get underway here at Trapper Field as the Blue Hawks come to bat with a 1-0 lead over the University of Jamestown. Jimmy's took game 1 by a score of 6-1, and they look to complete the sweep and take a 2-game lead over the Blue Hawks as we head into the final doubleheader of the conference season on Sunday. Blue Hawks will send up Kylie Hovey, Kara Conway, and Jay Maddox here in the second inning against Abby Blair. 22 pitches for Blair in the first inning, worked out of a couple sticky spots to keep the score at 1-0. And the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. It's one thing we've seen with these Jimmie starters this year. If they've struggled in the first and are able to get out of that first inning, they usually settle in and pitch pretty decently the rest of the way. Sometimes that first inning is always the toughest one, but once you get that behind you, you're able to settle in and find a good rhythm. Blair falls behind Hubby 2-0 here to start off the top of the second. And that one taken for a strike, 2-1. Although once the postseason rolls around, you're not sure how much Coach Gall will run with these starters if they start to show a little bit of trouble. As that pitch hit sharply to second, Geisler over there in plenty of time to toss over to Grenler for out number 1. So that'll bring up Kara Conway. Conway 0 for 2 in game 1. Struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch from Blair. Called strike, 0-1. And here's the 0-1 from Blair. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Blair's most effective when she has that heavy ball work, and she's not going to strike out a lot of batters, but she's going to throw the ball hard, and hitter's going to hit it into the ground. So when you're seeing those ground ball outs and the ball not in the air very much, you know, she's hitting her spots and getting the batters to do what she wants to do. As that pitch misses low, 1-2. One-two hits Conway. She'll reach first on the hit by pitch. You never like to see a batter get hit by a pitch, but you never like to hit them with 2 strikes. So that'll bring up Jay Maddox. Maddox 0 for 2 in game 1. Looking for her first hit of the day. And here's the first pitch from Blair. Swung on and hit in the air to right center. Greg giving chase. It's a one-hopper off the fence. Conway rounds third, coming home. The throw up the line. Not going to make it. And Maddox into third. So Maddox with the RBI double, and then taking third on the errant throw from Geisler at second. Drives in Conway with the Blue Hawks' second run. And it's now 2-0 in favor of Dickinson State. First pitch to Farrington in there for a strike, 0-1. Apologize to the viewers at home. We are having lots of cloud cover come in and casting shadows over the infield. The 0-1 misses inside, 1-1. Nice day to be outside, but not a nice day to be on the stream. Having to account for all these clouds and sun cover here, so appreciate your patience as the 1-1's fouled off over the third base side, out of play, 1-2. Blue Hawks lead 2-0, 1 out and a runner at third here in the top of the second. But Blair ahead of Farrington, 1-2, and that one misses inside to even the count. Jimmie baseball in Omaha taking on Bellevue, lost 2-1 in the opener, and they trail 3-0 in the top of the third in game 2. As that one hit to the right side, Geisler up with it and over to Grenler for the second out. But Maddox is able to come home with the run. And the Blue Hawks now lead 3-0 here in the top of the second. And that'll take us back to the top of the order, and the right fielder, Haley Davis. Davis led off the game with a walk and came around to score the first run. And the first pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Jimmie's have activity in the bullpen. Maddie Haregrove getting loose. Hopefully Blair can get through this inning and a couple more. As the count now 1-1. 38 pitches already for Blair here in an inning and 2/3. And the off-speed misses inside, 2-1. We'd like to be able to see her get through this inning and then maybe have a quick inning next time out and try to work into the fifth if at all possible. And the 2-1 swung on and missed. That'll even the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now with the off day tomorrow, that will help the team somewhat, but playing again on Sunday, you really want to take that first seed in the conference tournament, because then you have the off day again on Thursday and don't have to play again until Friday, which, I don't know, some coaches may say they want to just get out there and play, but I think that extra day of rest just helps everybody. Pitchers, position players, all of that, that extra day just gives you a little bit of an advantage, especially when you've got the grueling schedule of a conference tournament coming up. Here's the 3-2, swung on and hit in the air to left field. Weigel diving out of play, but that will be just out of reach. Last day of classes for the University of Jamestown today. Finals week will start on Monday. So again, another off day will help with the grind of finals and practice and conference tournament prep. 3-2, here's the payoff, swung on and hit foul down the left field line. So Davis will stay alive. And 3-2 just misses outside, so Davis walks for the second straight at bat. And the Blue Hawks stay alive here in the top of the second, as Cassidy Benner comes to bat. Struck out looking her first time up. First pitch inside, 0-1 or strike. Both the softball and baseball conference tournaments will be taking place in Dickinson next week, as the 0-1 is fouled off. 0-2. You can follow all of the action on the Dickinson State University YouTube page. So Blair ahead of Venner now, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Here's Blair with the 1-2. Benner caught looking for the second straight at bat, and that'll do it for the Blue Hawks in the top of the second. But they add 2 more runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Jimmie error, 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Your score is Dickinson State 3, University of Jamestown nothing. Head to the bottom of the second here at Trapper Field as the Jimmies come to bat trailing 3-0. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Hawks. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Jimmies. Just 11 pitches needed for Ava Yonner to get through that first inning for the Blue Hawks. Even though the Jimmies did have their first 2 batters of the inning reach on errors, nothing to show for it after that. Once Trinity Gregg was caught stealing at third, and a couple of infield outs would do it for Jamestown in their first trip at bat. It'll be Draper, Hope Ransom, and Geisler, hitters 5, 6, and 7 in the Jimmie lineup, to take on Yonner here in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to Draper, in there for a strike, 0-1. Draper 2 for 3 with an RBI in game 1. One of a couple Jimmies with multi-hits as the 0-1 is swung on and hit up the middle for a single. And that'll bring up Hope Ransom. Ransom got the win in game 1, but did not bat as she was in the flex position. This is just the 37th plate appearance for Hope this season in 36 games. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. She's batting 167, 6 hits and 36 at bats, no homers, 4 RBI. But she did see quite a few at bats in her freshman season, so she's no stranger to the plate. As the 1-0 catches the inside to even the count at a ball and a strike. One swung on and hit through the left side. So that'll put runners on first and second for the Jimmies here to start the bottom of the second. So that'll bring up Kate Geisler for her first plate appearance of the day. And the Jimmies will bring in the flex for the designated player. So Blair, now the runner at first, taking over for Ransom. So Geisler steps in for the first time today. 254 on the season, 1 home run, 7 RBI. As she shows bunt, and the first pitch misses, 1-0. Geisler following in the footsteps of her older sister Morgan and continuing a tradition of West Fargo high school players playing for the Jimmies. The 1-0 misses, 2-0. It wasn't that long ago you didn't see many North Dakota high school players making the jump to college softball, but now it's a pretty common occurrence as the quality of high school softball in North Dakota has grown by leaps and bounds over the last 7-8 years. You used to see most of the strong teams centered in the East, West Fargo especially, but that's headed out west. Dickinson's really proved themselves to be a dynasty in the making. And Geisler bunts through the 2-1 pitch. That'll even the count 2-2. Always nice to see the teams get a little more even balance instead of one team running away with it year after year when you have competitive teams all the way through. It just makes it more enjoyable to watch, in my opinion. Count now 3-2 on Geisler. Draper, the runner at second. Blair on at first. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Jimmie's looking to chip into that Blue Hawks 3-0 lead. Geisler fouls that one off over the Jimmie dugout. Sounded like it might have got a vehicle on the bounce. Hopefully not, but you never know. That's softball, Susan. And that one hit back up the middle. Yonner snags that one. Her only play is over to third to force out Draper. So that will be out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. So Sydney Grenler steps up to bat. Grenler 1 for 3 in the first game. Swings at the first pitch. Hit over to Hubby at third. She'll step on the bag for out number 1 and tries to get Grenler at first, but she beats the rap for the fielder's choice. So 2 down now. Geisler at second, Gremler at first for Sydney Austin. First pitch to Austin, missing up high, 1-0. Austin 1 for 3 in game 1. Got a hit in her final at bat of the game in the 6th inning. 1-0 misses, 2-0 now. Jimmie's had their chances here in the second, but unable to get anyone to third as the 2-0 misses. Count now 3-0 to Austin. Jimmie's got the first 2 hitters of the inning on with singles, and then 2 straight fielder's choices have put the Jimmies in a bind here. And the 3-0 hits the corner for a strike. Geisler reached on a comebacker to Yonner, who went to third for the first out, and then Gremler reached after hitting it straight to third, and that ball is through the right side. Here comes Geisler, slides under the tag, and the Jimmies are on the board with a 2-out single by Sydney Austin. So Austin delivers a 2-out RBI single as Gremler takes second, and the Jimmies now trail 3-1. And back to the top of the order, and Trin Gregg steps in. Reached on an error in the first. Kylie Yanzik will come in to run for Grendler at second. We'll most likely see her stay on in the field. And the first pitch by Gregg, taken by Hanson. That'll do it for the Jimmies in the bottom of the second. But they get on the scoreboard. 1 run, 3 hits, no Blue Hawk errors, 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the third. Our new score, Dickinson State 3, Jimmies 1. Top of the third here at Trapper Field, Dickinson State leads Jamestown 3-1. Kylie Yanzik, who came on to run for Sydney Grendler in the bottom of the second, remains in the game at first base. And that is the only defensive change for the Jimmies as the Blue Hawks come to bat here leading 3-1. It'll be Wilharm, Lajewski, and Hanson. And Selena Wilharm leads off with a single here in the top of the third. Brooke Lajewski steps in. Blue Hawks designated player, grounded out to third, her first at bat. Second time in 3 innings, the Blue Hawks have gotten the leadoff batter on. And that one hit into shallow center as Wilharm looking for 3 all the way. She will get there easily. And the Blue Hawks with runners on the corners and nobody down. And head coach Kevin Gall out to meet with the umpire. Looks like we will have a substitution here. looks like that'll be it for Abby Blair in the circle. Here comes Maddie Hairgrove out of the Jimmie bullpen to take over.
Change. Coming in from Jimmie, number 4, Maddie Hairgrove.
And with Blair coming on to run for Ransom in the previous inning, my guess is that she will stay on as the designated player and bat when her spot comes up. Hairgrove will go into the flex position, but we will see once that spot comes up in the order, but that's what it's looking like for now. So Blair leaves after giving up 2 singles to start the top of the third. She goes 2 innings plus, allows 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. To this point, both runners on base, her responsibility. She walked 2 and struck out 3. And taking over for the Jimmies will be the freshman from Tucson, Arizona, Maddie Hairgrove. Hairgrove making her 27th appearance for the Jimmies, 58 innings. She has 52 strikeouts, 28 walks, 1 loss record of 9-1, 1 save, and an earned run average of 2.78. And the first pitch misses outside. As she faces Bailey Hanson here with runners at first and third. Nobody down here in the top of the third. So Lajewski takes second on the stolen base, 2-0 count to Hanson as she swings and misses. As the count now goes to 2-1. Hairgrove in 23 appearances out of the bullpen, 7-1 record, 46 innings, 39 strikeouts, 2.43 earned run average. She has started 3 games this season. But pitched mainly out of the bullpen, and that one hit on the ground to Geisler. Her only play is the first, as Wilharm comes in with run number 4 for the Blue Hawks. And Lajewski takes third. So that'll bring up Kylie Hubby with 1 out and 1 runner in.
Next up for the Blue Hawks, number 8, Kylie Hubby.
Hubby 0 for 1 today, rounded out to second in her first time up. I should say 0 for 1 this game. 1 for 2 in the opener. And a 1-0 from Hairgrove. Catches the plate, even the count at a ball and a strike. Swung on and missed. 1 and 2 now to Hubby. More activity in the Jimmie bullpen. Laura Ransom getting loose. The 1-2 fouled off. Here's the 1-2 from Hairgrove. Swung on and hit in the air, high and deep, but foul. So Hubby stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Fouled off down the third baseline. Hubby staying alive. 3 straight foul balls to extend the at-bat. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here from Hairgrove. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Dickinson leads 4-1. And the pitch. Tries outside, but misses. That'll leave the count now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jimmie's looking to get out of here with any further damage. Just 1 out. 2-2 misses inside to run the count full now. 3-2. So Hubby down 1-2 earlier in that bat, now worked to count to 3-2. And here's the payoff pitch swung on, hit in the air to right center. Greg going back, she'll come up with it at the fence. But Majewski comes home on the sacrifice fly. And the Blue Hawks extend their lead to 5-1 here in the top of the third. That'll bring up the shortstop, Kara Conway.
Now batting for Dickinson, shortstop number 22, Kara Conway.
And the first pitch from Hairgrove hits the corner for a strike, 0-1. Can close the book on Blair. She went 2 innings plus, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And that one is popped up over the screen right in front of us in the bleachers. So Hairgrove quickly ahead, 0-2. Hairgrove looks in, gets a sign, and the pitch. Misses outside, 1-2. 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Hawks. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Jimmies. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Hairgrove trying to get the Jimmies out of a mess here. Misses high with that one, 2-2. Blue Hawks scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Lead by 4 here as they continue to bat, and that one hit in the air. Janzik able to come up with that one. That'll do it for the Blue Hawks, but not before they score 2 runs, 2 hits, no Jimmie errors, and no runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. The Blue Hawks extend their lead now to 5-1 over the Jimmies. Weigel reached on an error and stole a base in
Number
Her
11,
only plate appearance in the
Lauren
first.
Weigel.
First pitch misses low, 1-0. And Weigel takes a 1-0 pitch low for a ball, 2-0. Yonner through 2 innings, just 29 pitches, just giving up 3 hits, 1 run. Hasn't walked anyone or struck anyone out, faced just 10 batters. Pretty efficient with her pitch count so far, as the 2-0 is foul tipped and hung on by Maddox for strike 1. Don't forget, we've got Senior Day festivities after the game. We will have live coverage of that for you to watch as the 2-1's fouled off. So after getting ahead in the count 2-0, Weigel now down 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 misses outside, 3-2. Swings and hits that one somewhat in front of the plate, rolls out to Yonner, but she will beat out the infield single. So for the 3rd straight inning, the Jimmies have their leadoff hitter reach.
Next up to bat, the Jamestown, number 10, Maddie Spade.
Second time on base for Weigel. That'll bring up Maddie Spaeth. Popped out to second her first time up. First pitch from Yonner, swung and hit in the air to right field. What a diving catch by Davis as she tries to throw back to Hansen at first to get Weigel, but Weigel under the tag. Great play out there in right field by Davis. That was looking to be a base hit for sure, but just at the last minute able to come in there and get a glove on it for out number 1. So here's Quintanilla, grounded out to short her first time up. 1 down in the inning, and that pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Maddox to keep it from getting to the backstop. 1-0 to Kayla Quintanilla. Here's the 1-0 from Yonner. That one taken for a strike to even the count now, 1-1. From Yonner, swung on and hit just on the other side of third base, foul, 1-2. Quintanilla back in the box with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weigel, the runner at first. Swung on and just barely making contact, hitting that one foul to stay alive. Here's the 1-2 again from Yonner. Swung on, hit back to the pitcher's mound. Yonner will go to second for out number 2, but Quintanilla able to beat the throw at first.
2 outs, stepping up to the bat of the James, number 9, Natalie Draper. On deck, number 34, Hope Ransom.
So Quintanilla reaches on the fielder's choice 2 down now for Natalie Draper. And that one hit to Conway. tries to get Quintanilla at second, but she will slide in under the tag. So Draper's safe on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Hope Ransom. So Ransom will re-enter as the DP. Takes the first pitch from Young for a strike, 0-1. Count 1-1 to Hope Ransom. Ransom singled in her only at bat of this game. 1-1 off speed, called strike, 1-2. Gunner took something off of that one. Got it across the plate to get ahead in the count now, 1-2. Draper at first, Quintanilla at second. Jimmie's looking to get a run or two back on that Dickinson lead. As Yonner's off-speed pitch outside, 2-2. Blue Hawks lead 5-1, but the Jimmie's looking for another clutch two-out hit to cut into that lead here as Ransom bats with 2 down. And that one hit right back up the middle. Quintanilla rounds third, she comes home. Draper stays at second, and Ransom delivers.
Another run for the Jimmies.
And the score now 5-2 as the Jimmies stay alive with runners on first and second. So that'll bring up Kate Geisler. Reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score in the second inning. Jimmie's getting 1 run back. Still trail here 5-2 in the bottom of the third. As Geisler swings at the first pitch and fouls it towards the Jimmie dugout, 0-1. Draper, the runner at second, Ransom running at first, 2 down here in the third. The 0-1. And that one fouled off. So Geisler down in the count now, 0-2. Fouls that one straight back. Keeps the at-bat going. Let's Coach Galla have a quick chat with Kate here. Count of 0-2, 2 outs. One run in for the Jimmies so far in the bottom of the third, still down 5-2. Do have runners at first and second. Kate Geisler with an 0-2 count. Looking to keep things going for the Jimmies. And here's the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Throw back down to second. Just a little off the bag. Draper able to get back. Here's a 1-2 to Geisler. Swung on and fouled down the left field line into the corner. So Geisler stays alive, 1-2. Misses high. That'll even the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Geisler swings at the 2-2, hits it into left field. And Coach Dahl holding Draper at third. Back here with the bases loaded. Geisler delivering the 2-out single to keep things going for the Jimmies. Bases loaded now, 2 down. Big spot here for Sydney Grendler. Reached on a fielder's choice her first time up. Outfield playing Grendler straight away. First pitch misses low and outside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0, outside 2-0. Grendler showing patience here with the bases loaded, looking for something she can drive to the outfield. That one misses away, 3-0 now. Really choosy now, ahead in the count, 3-0. And that one misses up high. Grendler draws the 4-pitch walk as Draper comes home with the second run of the inning for the Jimmies, and the score is now Dickinson State 5, Jamestown 3. So Sydney Austin steps up with the bases still loaded, 2 down. Activity in the Blue Hawks bullpen as the first pitch to Grendler taken for a strike. Yonner ready. Here's the 0-1 to Austin. Swung on and hit. Snagged by Yonner over to first for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Jimmies in the bottom of the third, but they score 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Blue Hawk errors, and the Jimmies leave the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 4th. Our new score, Dickinson State 5, the University of Jamestown 3. Top of the 4th here at Trapper Field. Jimmies get 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. They now trail 5-3. As Maddie Hairgrove comes out for her first full inning. She came on after Abby Blair gave up 2 singles to start the 3rd. So this will be Hairgrove's first inning without any traffic on the base paths. She will face hitters 8, 9, and 1 in the Blue Hawk lineup. Jay Maddox, Allie Farrington, and Haley Davis. Maddox 1 for 1 in game 2. She doubled and scored in the second inning. And the first pitch from Hairgrove, outside for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 misses inside, 2-0 now to Maddox. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Hopefully that third inning will give the Jimmies a little bit of momentum as they come to bat here in the later parts of the game. They've gotten the leadoff batter on in all 3 innings so far, but just 3 runs to show for it as the 2-1 swung on and hit high in the air, but foul over the left field side fence. So Hairgrove evening the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jay Maddox. And the pitch low in the dirt, 3-2. Blue Hawks looking to get their leadoff hitter on for the 3rd time in 4 innings here in game 2. Payoff pitch swung on and missed. So Maddox goes down swinging for out number 1. First strikeout for Hairgrove. That'll bring up the center fielder, Allie Farrington. Farrington with an RBI ground out in the 2nd. And her only plate appearance here in game 2. And the first pitch from Hairgrove. On the outside for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 misses high to even the count, now at a ball and a strike. Jimmie's out hitting the Blue Hawks 6-4, but the Blue Hawks hold the edge in what really counts the run column, 5-3, as the 1-1 misses outside. Blue Hawks have committed 2 errors, the Jimmies 1. Here's the 2-1, swung on and hit in the air to left center. Grade giving chase, that's off the fence on the hop, and Farrington into second with a stand-up double. So with 1 out, the Blue Hawks have a runner in scoring position as they turn the lineup over once again with Haley Davis coming to bat. She's drawn a pair of walks so far here in game 2. Scored the first run for Dickinson State in the 1st inning. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Blue Hawks lead 5-3. Farrington, the runner, at second after the double. And the first pitch to Davis up high for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 just misses. 2-0 now to Haley Davis. Fairgrove checks the wristband. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that one catches the top part of the zone. 2-1 now to Haley Davis. runners. The 2-1, that one misses high. 3-1 now to Haley Davis. Farrington, the runner at second after the 1-out double. Hairgrove and the Jimmie's looking to keep her stranded there as the 3-1 comes home and misses. Oh, hits the corner. Looked like the umpire was a little late in calling that one. Must have verbalized it because Davis wasn't on her way to first and a little late on the signal. And the 3-2 misses high. So for the third straight at bat, Davis draws a walk. I'll put runners at first and second, still just 1 out for the left fielder, Cassidy Venner. So we'll have a meeting in the circle with the Jimmie infield and Coach Kevin Gall. Good chance to go over some strategy here with the Blue Hawks getting runners at first and second, just 1 out. Probably going to go over some base coverages on a bunt, maybe see what they're going to do on a fake bunt steal, if anything happens like that. Just want to make sure all of your position players are on the same page in case the Blue Hawks try a little bit of small ball or some trick plays here to extend their lead here in the fourth. So this will bring up Venner, who has struck out looking twice so far today. Jimmie's would love for her to go down a third time here with just 1 out, runners at first and second. First pitch swung on and missed.
Cassidy Venner up to bat for the Blue Hawks.
So Venner bats here, first and second, 1 out. Jimmie's would love a ground ball in the infield here as the 0-1 misses to even the count out, a ball and a strike. So here's the 1-1 from Hairgrove, swung on and missed. 1-2 now to Venner. One-two pitch, foul tip, but hung on by Quintanilla for strike 3. And Venner goes down for the third time here in game 2. The second out of the inning. So with 2 outs now, Selena Wilharm comes to bat. She is 2 for 2 here in game 2. And that pitch swung on and hit in the air to left center, but Lauren Weigel tracks it down. And that will do it for the Blue Hawks in the top of the 4th. In the inning, there were no runs, 1 hit, no Jimmie errors, and 2 runners left on base. Jimmie's come to bat in the bottom of the 4th. They trail 5-3.
leading off bottom of the fourth for the Jimmies. Back to the starting line at number 6, Trent Gregg.
Trent Gregg leads off the bottom of the fourth for the Jimmies. Jimmie's looking to chip away at the 2-run lead by the Blue Hawks here in the top of the, or in the bottom of the fourth rather. And that pitch misses outside 2-0. Gray go for 2 here in game 2. Reached on an error and grounded out to first. 2-0 hits the outside corner, 2-1 now. It'll be Greg, Weigel, and Spaeth here in the bottom of the fourth. Looking to get the Jimmies level or retake the lead, and the 2-1 misses low, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Greg. And that one taken for a strike, count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to Greg coming up, and that one swung on and hit the other way into left field. Greg hustling into second with a double. As soon as that ball went the other way, you could see her think second base right away. And she is in there with a leadoff double. 4th straight inning that the Jimmies have had the leadoff batter reach. And here's Weigel, 1 for 2. Singled her last time up. And this will bring out Dickinson State head coach Kristen Fleury. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here with no outs here in the top of the fourth.
Pitching change in for the Blue Hawks. Number 1, Hope.
Pitch change for the Blue Hawks. Number 1, Hope Foth comes in. She will relieve Yonner. Foth making just her 2nd relief appearance of the year, 12th appearance overall. She has a 6-2 record, 3 complete games in 43 innings. She's allowed 44 hits, 34 runs, 30 of those earned. She's struck out 41 and walked 24, earned run average of 4.88. And she will face the left-handed hitting Lauren Weigel here with no outs, and Trinity Gregg, the runner at second. Weigel representing the tying run. Jimmie's trail 5-3 here in the bottom of the fourth. And the first pitch from Foth swung on and fouled into the Jimmie dugout. Let's hope nobody got hit by that one. Heads on a swivel down there, ladies. You never know when one's going to find its way through the opening in the net. 0-1 to Weigel. And that one misses high, 1-1. Weigel swings and hits that one into left center. Gregg around third. She will score easily. And Weigel into second with a double. So back-to-back doubles have the Jimmies down by just a run here with still no one out in the bottom of the fourth.
And a run for the Jimmies. Stepping up to the plate for Jamestown, number 10, Maddie Spade.
So you can close the book on Yonner. She went 3 innings plus. Gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Sorry, check that, 3 runs, all of them earned. She walked 1, did not strike anyone out. As the inning continues with Maddie Spaeth. First pitch hits the corner for a strike, 0-1. So after falling behind 5-1, the Jimmies are now just down a run as they continue to bat here with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. Weigel, the runner at second. 0-1 to Spaeth, misses outside to even the count. Spaeth looking for her first hit here in game 2. The 1-1 swung on and hit in the air to right. Davis underneath it. Weigel tags and makes her way into third. So the Jimmies get their first out of the inning, but they advance the runner to third base for Kayla Quintanilla. 0 for 2 here in game 2. But with a chance to tie the game here with just 1 out. First pitch in the dirt. Good block by Maddox, 1-0. And Quintanilla swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. Correction, now you can close the book on Yonner. 4 runs, 4 earned, 7 hits, 3 innings. One misses outside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 from Foth. That misses high, 3-1. Quintanilla ready for the 3-1 from Foth. Misses outside for ball 4. So Quintanilla takes first as Natalie Draper steps to the plate with runners on the corners. Still just 1 out. Draper 1 for 2 against Yonner. Singled in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Third straight inning she has gotten to the plate for the Jimmies. And the first pitch swung on and hit in the air, just out of reach at second as they try to get Quintanilla at second, but she is in safely, and Weigel is in with the 5th run. And just like that, the Jimmies have tied it up 5-5. So once down by 4 runs, the Jimmies have battled back to tie it up here at 5 in the bottom of the 4th. 1 out, runners at first and second for Hope Ransom. And the first pitch to the Jimmies designated player misses inside, 1-0. Ransom with a pair of hits and her 2 at-bats this game. Also drove in a run in the 3rd. And the 1-0 missing outside, 2-0. Jimmie's looking to break this one open with 2 in already. Still just 1 out. And the 2-0 misses up high, 3-0. Quintanilla the runner at second, Draper the runner at first. 3 balls, no strikes to count to Hope Ransom. Squared at 5 here in the bottom of the 4th, 1 out. And here is the 3-0 from Foth. That one taken for a strike, 3-1. And the 3-1 hit slow roller to Conway. She will go to 3rd and get Quintanilla on the force play. So that will be out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. So Kate Geisler steps to the plate, looking to keep the Jimmies going here in the bottom of the 4th. Kate 1 for 2 with a run scored here in game 2. Singled her last time at bat, and the first pitch from Foth up high for a ball, 1-0. Left-handed hitter steps in. Here is the 1-0 from Foth. Taken outside for a strike to even the count, 1-1. One run from Foth fouled off to the screen, 1-2. Draper the runner at second, Hope Ransom the runner at first. Kate Geisler in the box with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Jimmie's looking to take the lead for the first time here in game 2. Here's the 1-2 to Geisler. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That'll do it for the Jimmies in the bottom of the 4th, but not before they score 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Dickinson State errors and 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the 5th. Our score, Jamestown 5, Dickinson State 5. We head to the top of the 5th, all tied at 5. Jimmies with their second straight 2-run inning in the bottom of the 4th. They were able to get Abby Blair off the hook. She left after facing the first 2 batters in the top of the 3rd. So fortunately for her, she won't be getting the loss if the game would have held the way it was. Jimmie's battle back to tie. So for the Blue Hawks in the top of the 5th, it'd be Lajewski, Hansen, and Hubby. 4-5-6 against Maddie Hairgrove. First pitch, outside for a ball, 1-0.
Leading up to the inning, the Dickinson, number 25, Cassidy Benner.
Blue Hawks got a double and a walk in the 4th inning against Hairgrove, but unable to move the runners any further. 1-0 swung on and hit in the air to left. Weigel back a couple of steps, glove up, and makes the catch for out number 1. So that'll bring up the first baseman, Bailey Hansen, 0 for 2.
Nice up for the Bucks.
But drove in a run with a ground out in the 3rd. First pitch up high, checks her swing. They appeal to the first base umpire, and he says no swing, ball 1. Go ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one taken for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Jimmie's have kind of taken over the momentum shift here in this game. They put that 2-run inning up on the 3rd. In the 3rd, kept the Blue Hawks off the board in the 4th, and then added 2 more in the 4th as the 1-1 taken for a strike 1 and 2. And a quick 1-2-3 inning could give them even more of a lift as they come to bat in the 5th, looking to take the lead for the first time here in the 2nd game of today's doubleheader. The 1-2 just misses outside. That'll even things up 2 and 2. From Hairgrove in the dirt. Blocked and kept in front by Quintanilla. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Blue Hawks first baseman, Bailey Hansen. And the 3-2 swung and fouled back to the screen. So Hansen remains alive, 3 and 2 now. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. And it swung on and hit in the air to center. Turn Greg in a couple of steps. She'll make the grab for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down here for the Blue Hawks in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Kylie Hubby 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly in game 2.
Next up bat for Dickinson, number 8, Kylie Hubby.
And the first pitch taken outside, strike 1. I'll risk the announcer jinx and say the Jimmies are looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of game 2. First 2 batters quickly retired by Hairgrove. And the 0-1 just misses inside to even the count at a ball and a strike. Hairgrove's ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Hubby. Swung on and fouled off, 1 and 2. Jimmie's just 1 pitch away from that first 3 up, 3 down inning. And here it is, swung on and fouled back. Hubby extending the bat for at least 1 more pitch. Five here in the 5th. 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Blue Hawks. 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Jimmies. As the 1-2 misses high. Blue Hawks have left 4 runners on base. The Jimmies have left 8 through 4 innings. And that one swung on and chopped up the middle into center field past a diving Geisler. And the announcer's jinx strikes again. Thank you, Max O'Neill. Hubby reaches with a 2-out single. That'll bring up Kara Conway, the shortstop. 0 for 1 here in game 2. So if the situation presents itself again, I'm just going to keep my mouth closed as the first pitch to Conway is swung on and missed for strike 1. Hey, don't forget at the conclusion of this one, we've got the Jimmie Softball Senior Day festivities coming up. 0-1 taken down the middle for a strike. Haregrove quickly ahead of Conway, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Hubby the runner at first. 2 down and the pitch misses outside, 1-2. Haregrove set with the 1-2 pitch swung on and hit into left field. As Conway extends the inning for the Blue Hawks with a 2-out single to left.
For the Blue Hawks. Stepping up to the plate, number 16, Jay Maddox.
So Maddox will step in with 2 outs, and it appears we will have a runner at first base. Or correction, second base.
Number 12, Morgan Koffler in the run.
Morgan Koffler comes on to run for Hubby at second. So the first pitch to Maddox, up high for a ball, 1-0. After getting the first 2 hitters of the inning, Haregrove has allowed back-to-back singles. Runners at first and second, 2 down here in the 5th. Looking to get out of a mini jam as the 1-0 catches the outside corner, 1-1. Maddox 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Haregrove now ahead in the count, 1-2. Haregrove gets a sign, checks a wristband, and the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Maddox goes down looking for out number 3. 3rd strikeout for Haregrove. And after a pair of 2-out singles, the Blue Hawks leave them stranded. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still tied, 5-5. Bottom of the fifth here, Trapper Field. Sidney Grenler leads things off for the Jimmies. 5-5 is our score.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Jimmies, number 15, Jimmie, Grenler.
Grenler 0 for 1 here in game 2. She did draw a bases loaded walk in the third. And that one swung on, one hopper to Wilharm at second, over to first in time for out number 1. So that'll bring up Sydney Austin.
Stepping up to the plate, number 19, Sydney Austin.
Austin 1 for 2 with an RBI here in game 2. First pitch swung on and hit in the air to left. That one finds some green as Austin hustles into second with a stand-up double. So the Jimmies getting a one-out double by Austin. As Trent Grade comes to bat. Greg shows bunt. That one misses 1-0. And the 1-0 misses 2-0 now. And the 2-0 misses up high, 3-0 now to Trinity Gray. Austin the runner at second after the one-out double. And the 3-0 misses inside, so a 4-pitch walk to Greg puts runners on first and second now. Still just one out for Lauren Weigel.
Next up at the bat for the Jimmies, number 11, Lauren Weigel.
Weigel 2 for 3. She's doubled, scored a run, and driven one in. And the first pitch to Weigel hits the corner for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 to Weigel. Missing low to even the count at a ball and a strike. I think that is the right number. And the 1-1 swung on and fouled over the screen, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 to Weigel, missing outside, and that one gets away from Maddox, and the runners will advance a base on the passed ball. So the Jimmy's in business with 2 runners now in scoring position and a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lauren Weigel. And the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. There's the 2-2 to Weigel, off speed, and that one fouled over the screen. So Foth tries to take a little something off of that one, but Weigel on it just enough to keep the at-bat going. And Weigel awaits the 2-2 from Foth. Here it is. And that one poked foul down the third baseline. So Weigel staying alive here against Foth, 2-2, runners at second and third. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit in the air to center. Farrington on with it. She catches it and gets it in, but scoring on the play is Austin. So the Jimmies take their first lead of the game on the sacrifice fly by Weigel. Greg holds it second. So with 2 away now in the inning, the Jimmies lead 6-5 as Maddie Spaeth steps to the plate. And Spaeth swinging on the first pitch, fouls that one off over the first base fence. So after trailing 5-1, the Jimmies have now scored 5 straight runs, and now lead 6-5. And still bad here in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-1 popped up, and Hansen drops that one in fair territory. It goes foul, and Greg comes home with run number 7 for the Jimmies.
Another run in for the Jimmies.
So Spaeth reaches on the air. Greg comes home with run number 7. So it looked like Hansen was going to be able to make that catch, but the ball skipped out of her glove while she was in fair territory, went foul, making it a fair ball, and Greg alertly rounded the bases to come home with the 2nd run of the inning and the 7th of the game for the Jimmies. And the Jimmies have now extended their lead to 7-5. Still with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Quintanilla. 0 for 2 with a run scored and walked her last at bat. First pitch to Quintanilla from Foth, swung on and fouled over the right side fence, 0-1. Third straight inning, the Jimmies have plated 2 runs, beginning with the 3rd inning. And the 0-1 up high, 1-1. 10 hits now for the Jimmies. They've out-hit the Blue Hawks 10-7. And 1-1 to Quintanilla. Off-speed misses outside, 2-1. Bottom of the 5th, Jimmie 7, Dickinson 8-5. The count 2-1 to Quintanilla, 2 down. And Spaeth the runner at first. Here's the 2-1. That one misses inside, 3-1. Natalie Draper on deck, should Quintanilla reach. Quintanilla ready for the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed, 3-2. Jimmie's down to their last strike here in the bottom of the 5th. Quintanilla looking to keep the inning alive. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on. Slow roller to Conway at short, over to first in time for out number 3. But the Jimmies scored twice on one hit, one Dickinson State error, and one runner left on base. 5 innings complete, and the Jimmies lead the Blue Hawks 7-5. Allie Farrington will get things started for the Blue Hawks in the top of the 6th as they now trail the Jimmies 7-5 after the Jimmies score twice in the bottom of the 5th to take their first lead of the game. It'll be spots 9, 1, and 2 for the Blue Hawks here against Maddie Haregrove, who since coming on in relief has pitched 3 innings and given up just 3 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. And the first pitch to Farrington called strike 0-1. In the helmet, Farrington hit by pitch, so she will take first base. And this will be number 23, Jessica Duggan, who came on to play right field in the bottom of the 5th. She will have her first at bat here of game 2 and square around for the bunt and foul it off. So Haregrove quickly ahead in the count 0-1. Over to Geisler covering first on the sacrifice bunt. Farrington takes second after the successful bunt by Duggan. And we'll have a pinch hitter for Venner. This will be Jersey Morris batting for the second place hitter. First pitch, Morse runs up and takes that one for a ball, 1-0. So 1 out here in the top of the 6th for the Blue Hawks. Runner at second is Farrington, and the 1-0. Morse bunts through that one to even the count at a ball and a strike. Jimmie's lead 7-5 here in the 6th. 1 out, 1 on, and the 1-1 pitch swung on. Back to Haregrove. She looks at the runner, goes to first. Gets the out, but Farrington will take third on the throw. So with 2 away, the Blue Hawks now have a runner at third.
Stepping up the plate for the Blue Hawks, number 2, Selena Wilhelm.
And Selena Wilhelm comes to bat with 2 down. And the first pitch from Haregrove. taken down low for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 misses inside, 2-0 now to Wilharm. Fairgrove gets the sign, and here's the 2-0 delivery. That one misses high and away. 3-0 now to Wilharm. Jimmie's looking to get out of here. Stranding the runner at third. Here's the 3-0. Wilharm taking all the way, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 to Wilharm, and that one inside. She thought that might have been a little too inside and started it first, but the umpire called it a strike. So after falling behind 3-0, Fairgrove battles back with 2 straight strikes. Here's the payoff pitch to Wilharm, swung on and lined into left field for a single. That one gets away from Weigel, and Wilharm will go into second, and the Blue-Hawks cut into the Jimmie lead. It's now 7-6. So Wilharm at second after the single and error in the outfield. Jimmie still leads 7-6. As Lajewski steps in the box. And that looks like that'll be the end of the day for Maddie Haregrove. Haregrove 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And just 1 run allowed to this point. Runners on base are her responsibility. And Hope Ransom will come in to try to keep the Jimmies in the lead here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Ransom was the winning pitcher in game 1. She went the distance for the Jimmies. Now she is called on in relief here with a 1-run lead and 2 outs in the top of the 6th. So she will face Lajewski with 2 outs, runner at second. 7-6 ball game, Jimmie's lead. And the first pitch from Ransom, high for a ball, 1-0. Ransom said, here's the 1-0 delivery. That one inside gets away from Quintanilla. And Wilharm posts into third. On the pass ball. So tying run now at third base for the Blue Hawks and a count of 2-0 to Brooke Lajewski. And the 2-0 swung on and missed as Quintanilla hangs onto that one in the dirt. 2-1 now to the Blue Hawks designated player. 1 for 3 here in game 2. And the 2-1 misses high and away. 3-1 now. And here's the 3-1 from Ransom. That one misses inside. Lajewski draws a 2-out walk. That'll put runners on the corners for the Blue Hawks. As the first baseman, Bailey Hansen, comes to bat. Hansen 0 for 3 with an RBI. And the first pitch hits the outside, 0-1. Tying run at third base in the form of Selena Wilharm. Lajewski's a go-ahead run. Ransom looking to get the Jimmies out of here without any further damage, and that one misses inside, 1-1. One run in for the Blue Hawks this inning, but the Jimmies still lead 7-6 with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And the pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. So Ransom ahead of Hansen now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up for Hope Ransom and the Jimmies here in the top of the 6th. And the delivery swung on and a slow roller to third. Draper up with it, over to Grenler in time, and that will do it. Jimmies get out of the inning, allowing just 1 run. There was 1 Blue Hawk hit, 1 Jimmie error, 2 runners left on base. Jimmies look to add to their lead as they bat in the bottom of the 6th, leading 7-6.
Jimmie still lead 7-6.
If you heard pocket full of sunshine on the PA, that can only mean one thing. Natalie Draper coming to bat, and she will lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Jimmies. Still holding on to a 1-run lead. Draper 2 for 3, 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. And the 1-0 misses. 2-0. It'll be Draper, Ransom, and Geisler up for the Jimmies here in the bottom of the 6th. Looking to add some insurance to this 1-run lead. Here's the 2-0, and that's line to third. Nice play by Hubby to come up with that one for out number 1. That they do, Max. The hot corner for a reason. 1 out as Hope Ransom steps in. Not much reaction time down there at third base, but Hubby made that one look easy, getting the glove up there to snag the first out of the inning. And the first pitch to Ransom up high for a ball, 1-0. Ransom 2 for 3, but has reached all 3 times she's batted today. And the 1-0 hits the outside corner for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Ransom. That one gets the inside corner of the plate. 1-2 now. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Jimmie, 6 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for the Blue Hawks. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, 1-2 count to Ransom. And that one swung on and hit into center field. So Ransom on for the 3rd time today with a single. And that'll bring up Kate Geisler. Geisler 1 for 3, singled in the 3rd. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. She awaits the first pitch from Hope Foth. And here it is. Taken for a strike, 0-1. Guys are down on the count 0-1. Here's the pitch swung on and hit in the gap to left center. Ransom round second on her way to third. Geisler in with the stand-up double. Coach Gall's going to send Ransom, and she is in standing. Geisler trying to take third, but she is gunned down on the throw from Maddox to third. So give Geisler an RBI double. But Ransom comes home with run number 8 for the Jimmies. 2 down in the inning for Sydney Grindler. Grindler 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. The walk was a bases loaded walk. She fouls the first one off. So the Jimmies answer the Dickinson State run in the top half with one of their own here in the bottom of the 6th. To retake a 2-run lead, and here's the 0-1. And that one fouled off. Grindler now down in the count 0-2. And the 0-2 to Grindler misses high and away, 1-2. Grindler looking to keep the inning alive for the Jimmies, but is down in the count 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Foth. That one misses outside, 2-2. And the 2-2 to Grindler swung on and hit into right field. A one-hopper into right, and Grindler is on with a 2-out single.
Grindler's on base for the single. Up to bat for the Jimmies. Number 19, Sydney.
Coach Gall going to his bench once again. He will bring in Riley Welk to run for Grendler at first.
On the first base.
So that'll end the day for Grendler, as that is the second time she's been subbed out, and that will bring up pinch hitter for the Jimmies. This will be Caitlin McCartney batting in Austin's spot. So some late inning substitutions here for Coach Gall, looking to get any more of a cushion as they head to the 7th here against the Blue Hawks. So McCartney steps in for her first at-bat here in game 2. And the first pitch from Foth misses away, 1-0.
Hitting for the Jimmie, number 8, Caitlin McCartney.
McCartney is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice in game 1. And the 1-0 misses low, 2-0. 2-0 the count to McCartney with Riley Welk, the runner at first, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Jimmie's lead 8-6. Here's the delivery from Foth, missing away, 3-0. And the 3-0 to McCartney. She's taken all the way, and that one finds the zone, 3-1 now. McCartney ahead in the count, 3-1. Here it is from Foth, and that one taken for a strike, 3-2. Full count. Welk will be off on the delivery, as she hopes McCartney able to make contact and get her over to third, maybe even score on a ball in the gap. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on, and chopped foul. So we'll do it again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, McCartney swings and hits that one in the air to shallow left. Good effort by the left fielder, but coming up just short. McCartney will stay alive. Venner nearly made the catch on that one, but luckily for the Jimmie, she was maybe just a step and a half behind it and getting to the ball. So McCartney will see another 3-2 offering from Foth. And here it is. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That'll do it for the Jimmies in the bottom of the 6th. They get 1 run on 3 hits. No Dickinson State errors and 1 runner left on base. We head to the top of the 7th. Jimmie's looking to complete the sweep as they lead 8-6. Defensive change for the Jimmies. Now playing first base is Laura Ransom. She will bat in the 8th spot, vacated by Sydney Grendler. Sydney Austin re-enters the game to play right field after McCartney pinch hit for her last inning. And the Blue Hawks will lead off the inning with Kylie Hubby against Hope Ransom. Jimmie's lead 8-6. Top of the 7th.
Leading off the 7th inning for Dickinson. It is number 8.
Hubby 1 for 2 with an RBI and a single. First pitch by Ransom, taken for a strike, 0-1. Ransom gets the sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one just misses, 1-1. Jimmie's still holding on to an 8-6 lead here in the top of the 7th against the leadoff hitter of the inning, Hubby, who hits that one on the ground back to Ransom. Over to her sister at first for out number 1.
Out number 1.
And that'll bring up Blue Hawks shortstop, Kara Conway.
22, Kara Conway.
Conway 1 for 2. Hit by pitch, scored a run, also singled. One down here in the top of the 7th. And the first pitch from Ransom in there for a strike, 0-1. Ransom ready to go back to work, and the 0-1 misses low, 1-1. And the 1-1 from Ransom, high and away, 2-1. Ransom ready with the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit to Draper at third. Over to Ransom in time for out number 2. And quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Jimmies, or for the Blue Hawks.
That brings up number 16, Jay Maddox, to get hit with the Blue Hawks.
So the Blue Hawks down to their last out here in the top of the 7th. This will be Jay Maddox looking to keep things alive. And the first pitch misses low, ball 1. Maddox 1 for 3, doubled in her first at bat, but has struck out her last 2 times up. And the 1-0 swung on and hit. Draper's got it over to first in time, and the Jimmie's complete the sweep of the Blue Hawks.
Jimmie takes the sweep.
Jimmie's now lead by 2 games going into the final 2 games at Dickinson on Sunday.
Blue Hawks 6.
Win by the Jimmies on Sunday would clinch the top seed of the tournament.
And we'll see you next time here.
So we will wrap this one up here and then get ready for Senior Day festivities. So that will do it. The Blue Hawks now fall to 13-5 in the conference, 27-13 overall. The Jimmies improved to 31-14 and are now 15-3 in the conference. Game time was 2 hours and 21 minutes. Winning pitcher for the Jimmies is Maddie Hairgrove. She improves to 10-1. Hope Ransom comes in for her 5th save. And the losing pitcher for the Blue Hawks is Hope Foth. She falls to 6-3. So the Jimmies rallied back from a 5-1 deficit. They get the 8-6 win here in Game 2 and complete the sweep of the Blue Hawks. And now lead by 2 games going into the final 2 games on Sunday in Dickinson. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching and listening to today's broadcast. We appreciate your support of Jimmie softball, not only today, but all season long. And we ask that you make sure to tune in on Sunday to the Dickinson State University YouTube channel and check out the season finale with the Jimmies and Blue Hawks. We'll get ready to turn it over to Senior Day festivities. I've been University of Jamestown Sports Information Director Ryan Michelson. You've been wonderful, and thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. Have a good night and a pleasant evening.
Stick around here, we're going to celebrate our seniors. While we get organized, we'll and get set up, then I'll hand the mic over to some of the girls and they'll have a program. Maddie Single, ladies and gentlemen.
At home plate, we got number 5, Maren Rasmussen. Okay. Maren, my throwing partner, my best friend, where do I start? You've been my rock throughout my college and Jimmie softball journey. From day one, you've been a guide, a source of strength, and someone I've looked up to more than you know. I still remember when Gall told me on my visit that you and I would become great friends, and boy was he right. What started as a simple prediction turned into one of the most meaningful friendships I've ever had. You've made this place feel like home, from our shared love for North Dakota, Midwest culture, UND hockey. Oh. Okay. To the hikes, fishing trips, spontaneous coffee runs, and movie nights. You've been the kind of friend that makes life fuller, lighter, and way more fun. Your work ethic is unmatched. Whether people are watching or not, you're always pushing yourself. You've managed to balance school and softball with such grace, and it's inspired me more than you probably know. Even on the tough days, you push everyone around you to be better versions of themselves. You've proven that you can chase excellence and still be the most down-to-earth, loyal friend along the way. I know you're going to thrive at MSUM this fall, just like you always do. I can't wait to watch your journey unfold and see all the amazing things your future holds. From your fellow Jimmies, we will miss you dearly, Maren, and we'll always be cheering you on.
Alright, so I have a speech for Maren too. When I was first asked by Maren to write her speech, I was a little nervous. It's hard to express in words what someone means to you and translating it for other people to try to understand. I want to start off with when I first came to college where I only knew one other person. I decided to go to a school that was 18 hours away where the only other person that I knew was one of my club teammates, and I was terrified of the idea. I don't remember when it happened, but between one moment and the next, it started to become me, Maddie, and Maren. It started to become movie nights, potlucks, hot girl walks, homework sessions, and random outings for ice cream. I feel as though some of the best friendships come from when you least expect it. I believe that you meet people for a reason, and I am grateful to have met Maren Rasmussen. Maren is one of the most hardworking individuals I have ever met, who also happens to be allergic to all of my favorite food. Maren is selfless, kind, mature, caring, supportive, and all the above. She crosses off everything good you could possibly say about a person, so I'm going to spare my massive vocabulary knowledge for the audience listening. But she crosses off every single one. I feel like I could go to Maren for every and any issue, and I'll miss playing the sport that has taken all of our hearts. Thank you for entrusting me to give this speech, and I just want to let you know how much I will miss you and how grateful I am that our paths were able to cross.
St. Austin, everyone!
Okay, so I've only known Sid for about a year, but in that year, she has easily been one of the best role models and friends ever. As one would guess, I came into the year a little nervous and not knowing what to expect, especially at our first practice. But right from the beginning, she took me under her wing in the outfield and instantly made me comfortable. At first, I thought Sid was pretty quiet, but I got to know her and realized that's definitely not the case. She is honestly one of the funniest and most relatable people I have ever met. No matter what mood I am in before I come to practice, Sid is always there and never fails to put a smile on my face. I think our bond really started to grow when we became partners for everyday drills in the outfield. We would talk about our days and how life is going, and we began to open up to each other. In the fall, we even bonded over our love for country music, and in the cage, we would always sing different country songs and see how many we knew. I also love sitting by her on the bus and talking and laughing over literally everything. One of my favorite things about Sid is how she slides when she catches the ball. Especially that one time when she was going in to catch the ball, but her foot slipped, but she still managed to recover and catch the ball that almost went over her head. Overall, she has been such a great leader to not only me in the outfield, but the whole team. We are all going to miss you endlessly and wish you the best in the future, even if you're going to Minot. We love you, Sid.
Hey, Sid. I'm so proud of you for all you've accomplished these past 4 years. You've stuck by Jimmie softball through thick and thin, and have always given your all to this team. When I first met Sid, I was absolutely terrified of her. All 4'8", 85 pounds of her. If you don't understand why, it's because you've never seen Sid in the weight room. Since then, getting to be in the same weight group as Sid and getting to know her in and outside of practice, it turns out Sid isn't so scary. Sid is an awesome friend and teammate. She has involuntarily become my French tutor and airport buddy, even though she didn't let me watch any movies on her plane-only iPad. Sid's also an incredible softball player. She's so good, she can trip and fall and still catch a pop fly. Thank you, Sid, for dedicating the last 4 years to Jimmie softball. I know I can speak for the whole team and for those who've already graduated that you've left a lasting impact on this program and the people in it. I'm so thankful to not only call you a teammate, but a friend as well. I know you'll go on to do great things in your future and continue to be an amazing human being. I'm going to miss you so much, Big Sid. Jimmie softball won't be the same without you.
Alrighty, last but not least, Kayla Quintanilla. Kayla, wow, time flies. You hear people say that, but you never believe them until that time has passed. The past 3 years that I've gotten to play with you and gotten to know you have been the best of my life. I remember the first day of practice. My freshman year, I got the privilege of playing catch with you. I remember it like it was yesterday. But I guess I wasn't that memorable because you don't remember playing with me. But that's okay. We have plenty of other memories together, like the long bus rides to Iowa and Nebraska, trips to Tucson, 6 a.m. weights, and practices, and of course playing the game that we both loved together. I think that I can speak for all the girls here, and especially Kayla, that these 3 years are not easy. Balancing school, softball, work, and social life, but you did it all with a smile on your face. Except for when I can't throw good front toss to you to save my life. I'm sorry about that, by the way. Anyway, I want to say thank you for asking me to lunch my freshman year when you knew I had no friends. Thank you for taking me under your wing. Thank you for being my home away from home. Thank you for being my best friend. I want you to know that you have the biggest and brightest future ahead of you. Your determination to be the best at everything you do will take you anywhere you want to go. And you don't take no for an answer. Trust me, I would know. You're constantly grinding and working towards your goals. No matter how big your load is, you just keep going. You're truly the hardest worker I know, and Jimmie softball won't be the same without you. Thank you for everything you have done for me and the girls on this team. We love you. Now let's go get that ring.
Some you figure you'd better try to build it up.
That wraps up senior day. Roll gyms.